Good morning, sir. Thank you for taking our time to have a sit down with management. We appreciate the leadership and the direction that the board ERM committee has shown. And one of it is the industry and the market recognizing IEI as the leader in the insurance and pension category, for which we won an award. So we say thank you so much, sir, in that regard.
Thank you very much for having me. First, I would like to congratulate management for this achievement. And I expect that management would also trickle this down to staff, because that is just how far management can do without having the right support from the staff. And of course, I will congratulate the board and the shareholders as well for this industry recognition.
Thank you so much, sir. The award meant a lot to us because it was a Nigerian Risk Award. But we also want to know, what does the award mean overall from a board perspective?
What I need you to understand is that this award is not just an award in terms of risk and compliance. I believe it's a strategic measure for the organization to be able to achieve growth, business growth. What we strive for, the reason why anybody is in business is to be able to make profit. But beyond just making profit, we are looking at sustainable profit.
Absolutely.
And we need the market to be able to trust us before they can invest or believe in what we are doing. And if we are put ourselves in a position where we are industry leader, because for you to get that industry recognition, you are already on a pedestal that puts you forward as industry leader. And what does that do to you? It will make the market to trust you. It will make regulators and even investors to trust you. And when you are trusted, your image, your reputation becomes a capital that you draw from, So there are some other insurance companies that are not trusted. To be able to invest in them will be a challenge. So if IEI has put itself in that position where the market can trust IEI, it then means that other things will follow. As an organization, position yourself in a way where your risk, your compliance, proper governance is in place. The market is able to trust you. Even without making so much effort, you will begin to attract businesses that will translate to growth for the organization.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much, sir. You spoke about strategic growth and market trust. Most times when people hear risk management, they think more of and governance, they think more of controls. So how do you see risk management as a business value, as a value add for strategic growth for IEI?
Where we are now didn't just happen. It's a combination of a lot of effort from management, staff, and ultimately the board. Until we got a position where IEI trajectory changed, we had issues in time past with regulators. At a point, there was regulatory intervention. But the board was resolute on paying attention to good governance across board. And how do you achieve this? For every business where your risk management is poor, then it's a huge challenge. So we were resolute about ensuring that, one, we comply with regulation. As a board, we didn't allow management to pull any wool over us. We got familiar with the market. We got familiar with the operations. And then each of our board members are very familiar with the dictates and the requirements of the regulators. The first thing we tried to ensure we put in place was to put control in place. We ensured that we hired a chief compliance officer. We ensured that our risk management framework was properly defined. And of course, all the board members, as you are aware, I chair the Enterprise Risk Management Committee of the board. Each of us are very thorough. We don't just come to board meeting, we roll our sleeves, having that understanding that board meeting is our own strategic means of putting appropriate control in place. We review all our reports, we put check and balances in place, we ask necessary questions, which is the ultimate role of directors. You need to probe as directors. And by the time we ask these questions, it will elicit a lot of things that we then are deliberate about fixing. And I mean, the result of that is part of what we have seen, IEI being recognized in the industry, which I think is not a mean feat. It is an envious achievement for IEI. And you can even see it from our recently concluded public offer. A lot of people didn't believe in IEI at first, but by the time they started seeing industry reports about IEI, I started getting calls saying, oh, would like to invest in your organization, you know. So these are the results you get when you put appropriate measures in place, which is what the board is driving at. And we are not going to relent. We'll continue on that trajectory.
Thank you so much, sir. Just for us to put it as a summary, what do in your own view, what makes IEI different in terms of risk management, governance, and compliance vis-a-vis the industry?
If you understand where we are coming from as an organization and where we are, and of course where we are going to, you understand that what made the huge difference, one, focused investor. We had investor who came in about 5 years thereabout. They invested in IEI and they knew where they were going. It's a group of financial services organization that has other interests in other markets, banking, pension, and of course with IEI, insurance. And we get support from the group. Support not just about funding, support in terms of even business development, support in terms of constituting, if you look at the mix of members of the board, they are industry leaders who know their soul. And I'll tell you one thing that is going for the board. We always ensure appropriate stakeholder engagement. We hold stakeholder engagement. We are close to regulators. We monitor what we do as a board to ensure appropriate control is in place, to ensure that there are no breaches that will attract a penalty from the regulators. All of these things, when you put them together, they position you as industry leaders. And I think is one thing that the market should learn from the leadership of IEI. So when you have appropriate leadership in place and you have the right combination of members of the board as well, and with investors who are focused and they monitor their investment, I think you will get it right as an organization.
Thank you so much, sir. Any closing remark for us as management?
You know, there's this saying that good work would attract more work. So I would encourage management that they've done well so far. There is plenty of room for improvement. They should continue to work harder and they will get the appropriate support from the board. And one thing that the board does is, you know, you cannot demand too much from your management when you are not giving them the right support. So we always ensure that we engage to understand where they have challenges. And the moment we identify those challenges as a board, we give the appropriate support. So I will encourage management to continue to put in a lot of effort. There is a lot of room for improvement. Where they have challenges, they should be open to the board so that the board can easily identify the challenges and then give the appropriate support.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.